Listen to that. Kansas, Oklahoma, southeast Texas, and the Gulf area today are all under the threat for severe weather. Large hail, damaging winds, and heavy rain. You could even see a tornado or two. We'll time it out all for you coming up.
And in the south, you may be asking, where's the sunshine? Day after day of gloomy skies, rain showers. The pattern continues today, but we can finally say when the skies will clear up.
And with the threat of more tornadoes and hurricane season right around the corner and flooding, Prepare-a-thon Day coming up, you need to be ready and you need to know what to do if a natural disaster strikes. We're here to help you prepare.
Hey, Gateway to the West, St. Louis. Now listen up. If you live in St. Louis, get everything you can do done. If you need to go to the grocery store, if you need to make sure the dogs get some exercise, if you need to go and get some exercise outside, if you're maybe marathon preparing, do it now because you have thunderstorms ahead in the forecast. Good morning and welcome to AMHQ Weekend. It is Saturday, April the 18th. I'm Kate Parker.
And I'm Chris Warren, in for Reynolds Wolf this morning. Dr. Greg Postel is here to break down some storms because it is going to be an active day. Let's get right to our top stories. A lot going on across the country.
Right. Item number one here is a chance for severe weather across the plains, really all the way from the Gulf Coast up through parts of maybe even as far north as Nebraska. There is a chance for a tornado or two, Kate, not just hail and high winds.
And it's not just that, it's the soaker. We've seen all these flooding concerns. They continue today as more rain, just a deluge of it in out of the south. Some of that making its way into the Midwest, which is good news because you're in a drought there.
And the weekend before the Boston Marathon, it is looking nice, and it's also going to feel nice in the Northeast. Temperatures are going to be 5 to 20 degrees above average today, and then things are going to change. Rain returns. We'll talk about when that's going to happen coming up.
All right, listen to this.
Lightning and thunder. The sound of lightning, that's thunder. And this is just outside of Houston last night with so much lightning, it was ridiculous. Flash after flash. Also with this intense rainfall, there was some flooding in the area as well. A lot of rain coming down, and coming down on already what is a soaked area. Many reports of flash flooding. Now I want to show you, you saw that lightning flashing? This is a look at the Lightning Detection Network. When it finds a lightning strike, it displays a little lightning bolt here. These little white lightning symbols, and look at how many there are here. Here's Houston, and just to the east, all of this, we pause it in a point, but 3,337 in about a half an hour just in this red outlined area. And this is not a huge portion. This is just a big area of storms rolling through with a ton of lightning. And that is one of the threats, one of many we're going to experience this weekend. Guys?
Man, yeah, we've got lightning this morning also, Chris. Now, this is when you hear that thunder, you know, it may frighten you or it may frighten your pets. It may frighten your kids. So you may have a very full bed this morning as you're trying to sleep in.
Right. And, you know, eastern Oklahoma right now, we have some big storms with a lot of lightning. No severe weather, no warnings out, no either severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings.
Like to hear that.
Yes, that's good news. That may change later on today, but right now we have to deal with these guys not moving very much across eastern Oklahoma and eastern Kansas. These guys racing northeastward. Not be surprised to get into the Kansas City area in the next, say, hour or two if they hold together. Likewise, closing in on Topeka. That's in eastern Kansas. But it goes farther north than that, Kate, all the way up to parts of Nebraska. Look at these lightningers right in here.
So obviously this sounds pretty fierce this morning, but it's this afternoon that we're focused on some of those more fearsome thunderstorms, right?
I think you're right, because the storms that we have right now are kind of living off of instability, not really rooted near the ground, where it can come even more unstable. I think that will change later on today because we're seeing some clearing work its way in from the southwest, right back in here. There's where the ongoing convection or ongoing thunderstorms are right now, but it's out here where there's nothing going on right now. That's the area that's going to get round two later on today because we have some strong winds aloft that are moving in. That will help sustain organized thunderstorm activity and perhaps make them last a little bit longer, maybe even help them rotate a little bit. So we have that ingredient to work with, plus dew points that are modest across the region, 50s and 60s across central Kansas and central Oklahoma. But it's this feature, the dry line, that later on today I think will get a little bit more active. As it moves eastward into that more humid air and is supported by those strong winds aloft, that zone in red has got a shot at severe weather. Hail and high winds, primary hazards, cannot rule out the possibility of a tornado, which we've seen earlier today is set at a Torcon value of 3.
Okay, so what you're saying is take those weekend plans if you live anywhere in the red there and adjust them. Make sure that you always have shelter nearby if you are going to go outside and something to notify you if there's severe weather nearby.
Stay tuned for all the latest because rapidly changing weather conditions are likely this afternoon.
All right, Chris.
Hey guys, where would you guys like to be in the South? If you had to stay in the South, where would you like to be today?
Anywhere there's going to be a break in the clouds.
Miami.
I'd like to see sun. Tampa.
That's not fair.
Does that count?
How about New Orleans?
Oh.
It's gonna be wet. But
What a
if you find
lovely
yourself
place.
right here, you can walk probably any direction for about 4 or 5 blocks.
And it's covered.
And you can go inside, pop into a lot of spots, and waste a ton of time.
Yeah.
And do
Among
it
other
with a
things.
Some great music.
big smile on your face.
And a big hurricane.
You can have a lot of fun here in the French Quarter of New Orleans, rain or shine, and there will be a lot of rain for you in the South. And also the clouds. I mean, we're talking about this on the headline here because that's also something that's been kind of nagging on a lot of people in the South when you've had more than a week of clouds and rain for New Orleans. The last time it was not cloudy was Wednesday, April 8th. It's been a while. And we are going to have that chance again for storms. More storms are already moving into New Orleans. And then on Sunday, mid-80s. It's going to be warm with all that moisture. It's going to be humid too, but dry. Things drying out. For New Orleans right now, here's a look at those storms getting closer and closer. And still a few scattered showers throughout parts of Georgia. And then more of the heavier rain as you get into the Carolinas, South Carolina, North Carolina. And readings running in the 60s right now. This is that flood threat. A big reason why there is the flood threat right here is there has been so much rain over the past several days, and now with more heavy rain coming on it, you don't have as much capability, the soil doesn't, to absorb a lot of that rain. So more rain on the way, and as you'll see, we'll still see those showers through the day today, and then again tomorrow. Again, it's not going to be, Kate, rain all day long. It's likely going to be cloudy all day long and kind of fits and hits of the rain.
Yeah, I think Southerners are a little jealous of those in the Northeast right now because you have a gorgeous day in store.
Just about
but
perfect.
You know what? Keep that envy in check because the Northeast does get their dose of rain in the forecast as well. You're going to have the sunshine and then you're going to have the rain. We're going to talk about when those showers arrive for you. And thousands of people in Louisville coming out for the annual Thunder of Louisville. But will there be real thunder? We'll let you.
You can't always be there to protect her down the road. Make sure the tires she's riding on will. With the revolutionary Michelin Premier tire, even as it wears down over time, its safety doesn't, thanks to Evergrip technology. The Michelin Premier tire, safe when new, safe when worn.
Advanced design makes it easy to protect your dog or cat from fleas and ticks. Discover Seresto. With the performance you expect from topicals in a non-greasy collar, Seresto provides protection against fleas and ticks for 8 months. Seresto.
Gone fishing. It's a sign that means we've locked up and headed off to do something we love. Luckily, there's an entire state dedicated to those little signs, with 19 million acres of woods. Gone biking, gone golfing, and the world's longest freshwater coastline. Gone rock skipping, gone sailing, gone wandering. Meet you on the playgrounds of Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
It's the Suit and Tie event now at Men's Warehouse. Select suits are on sale for $199.99. All ties, 3 for $75. Plus, buy one, get one free on even more. Only at Men's Warehouse.
The Fiat 500 isn't alone anymore. It's part of a big Italian family.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 92. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early. Low 74. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Sunday, considerable cloudiness. High 91. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We are still in the eye, and we're still trying to get in a safe place.
She's in labor right now.
We know more about this system hour by hour.
This is our Pineapple Express pumping in that rainfall.
We are talking about a doozy of a storm.
Well, it's a wet morning once again across the southeast. Places like Wilmington, you have a deluge of water right now, and you'll notice that the rain isn't really moving very quickly. Not a lot of movement with this, so you're going to see this continue to drench your area. And then take a look a little farther to the south. Just a deluge in Pensacola as well. This just starting to move in. Mobile, another place that you're getting a lot of rain. So if you're trying to go out for that morning jog, take the dog on the walk, you've got big problems all the way along the Gulf Coast. Boy, oh boy, is it getting messy in Louisiana, especially southeast Louisiana. Take a look at Morgan City, though. They're in the southwest portion of the state. You'll notice that we've got a lot of shower activity, thunderstorms as well. This lightning could be waking you up. Thanks for joining us this morning when you heard that thunder roar outside. This is what's happening. 7:40 a.m. This will all make its way into Baton Rouge. Raceland going to be another place that we see that. Later on this morning, New Orleans. You're going to be in this area of a lot of rain. So if you have errands to run in New Orleans, I know it doesn't look nice outside right now, but it gets a lot heavier from here, so it might be your best bet. Boy, oh boy, is the thunder roaring across Kansas this morning, Oklahoma as well. Man, you've got this massive line. If you're in Emporia, you're already starting to hear thunder there. Kansas City, you're still a little bit far out to hear some of this, but once we start getting this closer to Leawood, Kansas, Overland Park, that's when you're going to start hearing those rumbles of thunder. About 2 hours away from seeing that right on top of you. So get those morning errands done. We are helping you get ready on a Saturday. Nebraska, if you're in Valentine, you've got a ways to go before you see this rain come to an end. Norfolk, you're not quite there yet. Columbus starting to get into it. Lincoln as well. You're going to hear those rumbles of thunder. You're going to feel that rain. You can feel it in the air this morning if it's, not currently raining. Thick air. Thick with moisture, and you definitely have those thunderstorms on the way for you. The good news is none of this is severe, so we're not looking at any severe weather on the board, even though it is raining pretty hard and we have some thunder and lightning. Chris, it's later today that we do have the risk of severe weather. We're going to update you on that in just a moment.
Some places will stay calm, though, Kate, including this place right here, 61 degrees, a live look at New York. This is the Brooklyn Bridge. And the cool thing here is if you ever find yourself in New York kind of touring around or hanging out, you can walk across this bridge. There's a pedestrian path, and it's pretty neat. You can walk down to a little park there in Brooklyn and then look back at the city. Kind of a neat deal here. Now, we do have one concern. One main concern here in the Northeast, and that is going to be, even though it's going to be so nice, there will be some wind and it's going to be dry. So if a wildfire starts, it's going to spread. So there's an enhanced risk of seeing some of the fire spreading if they do spark. And this is a look now at the temperatures today. Today it is going to be in the upper 70s and even lower 80s on part of the I-95 corridor. And then tomorrow it's going to stay dry. However, it's going to be a little bit cooler. Cooler air will move in and temperatures now will be into the 60s, but still dry. And then it's going to change. Eventually things are going to turn wet. As we look here, this is Sunday, because there's no chance for rain for most areas, maybe northern New England today. But Sunday, we're watching the clouds move in late. Probably around sunset, you'll see some of those high clouds start to move in. And then here comes the rain now into the morning. And then eventually we will be seeing that chance for some rain into the afternoon and evening hours for Boston. And the weekend looking pretty good, feeling pretty nice too. Going to be into the upper 50s today. And then by Monday, that chance for some rain and some wind will return. Philadelphia, sunshine today, increasing high clouds on Sunday, and then rain, and Kate, even a chance for some thunderstorms on Monday.
And you know where else there's a chance of thunderstorms? Louisville later on today. But kicking off today is to start the Kentucky Derby Festival, a massive fireworks display. It's called Thunder Over Louisville. And joining us now is Kentucky Derby Festival President Mike Berry. Good morning to you, Mike.
Good morning, Kate. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. So for those of us that aren't familiar, what exactly is Thunder Over Louisville?
Thunder Over Louisville is one of the largest events that occurs in the Southeast United States every year. It kicks off the 2-week Kentucky Derby Festival leading up to the famous horse race. At 3 o'clock today, we'll start with an air show. Over 80 aircraft will fill the sky, including the U.S. Army Golden Knights and the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds. And then tonight at 9:30, the largest fireworks show in North America, 58 tons of fireworks will be exploded in a 30-minute period.
That's incredible. So we've got to get you that forecast. Let's take a look at that hourly forecast and what exactly you can anticipate, because we need to know if we're going to see rain. And the good news is we think it's holding off till after midnight. But, Mike, we've got clouds in the forecast. Is that going to be a problem?
No, that's not. You know, the clouds sometimes can add to an air show. The low ceiling gets the planes a little bit closer to us. They still do all their aerobatic tricks. And a lot of folks will tell you that they like fireworks with lower ceilings as well because it enlivens the colors. So, you know, clouds won't bother us at all. We're telling people bring sunscreen. We're telling people bring their patients, wear their Pegasus pin. It helps pay for the show. And just in case you get caught in one of those thunder pot, as we call them, portalette lines, bring a little extra toilet paper of your own.
Okay, well, that is a good tip. Thank you so much for those joining us this morning. Mike Berry, president of the Kentucky Derby Festival, with TP Tips.
So, what brings you to Jersey?
Well, Geico's the #1 auto insurer in New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. So I just came by to say thanks.
#1, huh? That's great.
Here you go. A little token of appreciation.
Oh, that's great.
Now, I'd say you probably need a large.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Are you sending your kids to school with an allergy medicine that may make them drowsy? Only Children's Claritin provides non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief.
And it's the #1 pediatrician-recommended non-drowsy brand.
In class and out, your kids can live Claritin Clear.
Joseph A. Bank presents Your Choice, Your Savings. Sport coats, pants, polos, shorts, and more. Purchase one item and receive 2 free. Plus, all traveler shirts are 3 for $99 through Tuesday. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
He says she's an undisciplined overwaterer. She claims he's a cruel underwaterer. With Miracle Grow Moisture Control Potting Mix, plants only get water when they need it. Fight ended or shifted. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, tomorrow at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
This Wednesday through Sunday, only at Tire Kingdom Spring Savings Event. Buy 2 tires, get 2 tires free instantly when you purchase our value installation package. A complete way to take care of your new tires. Get name brands like Goodyear, Continental, Pirelli, and more. Buy 2 tires, get 2 free instantly. This Wednesday through Sunday only, and only at Tire Kingdom Service Centers. Proud sponsor of Sunfest.
Why do people invest? They invest for what's next. That could be a college dream, a new priority, an active retirement. Whatever next is, it takes smart investments managed by experts who actively spot risks and opportunities. Franklin Templeton has been doing that for over 65 years, helping millions of investors achieve what's next. Franklin Templeton Investments. Gain from our perspective.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program,
and it just hit us,
is back.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 92, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 74. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Sunday, considerable cloudiness. High 91. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Most days in the U.S., you can find some type of extreme weather somewhere, but in just 1 week, we saw weather from one extreme to the other. Meteorologist Paul Goodlow has more on this wild week of weather.
The U.S. is home to some of the wildest weather in the world. We have blizzards and extreme cold that come in from Canada. We have hurricanes that come in off the coastal areas. We have probably the world's record number of tornadoes.
There's been times in the United States where they've measured 12 inches of rain in just 42 minutes. For snow, in one day, 83 inches of snow was recorded.
It's because of the way the land works in the U.S. We have the mountains, we have slowly rising land up from the Gulf of Mexico. There's tremendous source of moisture in the Gulf of Mexico. We have oceans on both sides at different temperatures. Combine all that and the way the air moves, it produces the extreme weather.
And all of these factors came together this week, giving us more than 1,000 reports of extreme weather from coast to coast. This week alone, we saw fast-moving grass fires in the Northern Plains, a blinding dust storm in Las Vegas, feet of snow in the Rockies, and up to 45 inches of fresh powder in the Wasatch Mountains near Salt Lake City. Several tornadoes ripped through Kansas, Oklahoma, even Texas, along with high winds over 60 miles per hour. Not to mention large hail, in some cases bigger than baseballs. And all week long, flood warnings for the rain-soaked Gulf Coast states. It's been a wild week for weather in the U.S., and it's not over yet.
It is not over yet, you know, until Dr. Postel sings, and you're not all your.
Yeah, we have quite a few more thunderstorms. And that little package there describing why the United States weather is so interesting.
To scientists.
To scientists, right.
Maybe not the people that are impacted by it.
You're exactly right, and that's a good point. We have to keep that in mind, obviously, because so many people are you know, really, I guess, have to deal with this kind of consequence of having all these different airflows come together in one place. And that oftentimes gives you the most interesting and unfortunately dangerous weather outcomes. Let's look at right now, because you can see one of these swirlies, these sort of big weather systems that is bringing together these different air masses. There it is near the Four Corners in upper level low. And that's really a cold pocket aloft, which on some level has helped it snow like crazy out in the Rockies, but it is also helping to support severe weather as some of that cold air aloft leaks out into the plains and makes the air mass more unstable because Gulf moisture is coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico from the south. So this swirly is doing a lot, Kate. It's doing a lot of things and making the air mass sort of ripe for severe weather. It's been doing that the last couple days. It will do it again today. So if you look at today's severe weather threat, it extends all the way from the Central Plains down to the Gulf Coast. And if you wanted to time it out, I'm thinking it's going to initiate really the bigger storms later on this afternoon out across parts of Kansas and Oklahoma. This is some of the action. By 2 o'clock, we'll see some rain and storms move through eastern Kansas, western Missouri, but I don't think that's going to be the big stuff. The big show later on today comes out here where the air mass is going to get more and more unstable because I think later on the sun will be out and help heat the atmosphere with that cold pocket aloft and the moisture flowing northward, Kate. That spells probably a line of storms, maybe a broken line, but really all the way from Nebraska down through Texas.
Plus the dry line.
Right. And I think some of these storms are going to form along that boundary between the pretty moist air coming northward out of the Gulf of Mexico, much drier air coming in from the west. And it's that sort of zone of confluence there where we expect thunderstorms that there's a torcon of 3 out, 30% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a point.
So that's what you need to be ready for today, but it's not just today, it's tomorrow as well.
You're exactly right, because that big dip in the jet stream, that cold pocket aloft, is going to be moving eastward tomorrow, Sunday, and continue to ride north, or some above, I should say, a northward flow of moisture out of the Gulf of Mexico. Stronger winds might be in play tomorrow, which might help sustain big storms, help organize them, maybe even rotate as well. So some hail could be a real threat tomorrow, as well as a possibility of a tornado or two. So the ingredients may be a little bit more aligned tomorrow for some severe weather than they are today. And here's our outlook area across the Mid-South.
Yeah, this is a pretty wide scope here. But again, hail and high winds, another big thing that we'll be watching for. Not just the tornadoes.
Not just the tornadoes, that's exactly right. Lightning, of course, is a big problem. But the torcons tomorrow come up a little bit. They're raised to 4. So from 3 today, 4 tomorrow, 40% chance of a tornado, we think, within 50 miles of a location tomorrow. So it could be sort of all modes in play tomorrow, whereas today it seems like hail and high winds are really the dominant theme.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Postel. Now, we are going to be looking at different areas that are under the gun today, what we have going on this morning as well. You know, we have the large hail, we have the damaging winds, we have those concerns. So you're also going to be talking about dry line, right, coming up?
That's right.
Explaining that.
At 50 past the hour, we are going to be talking the severe weather word of the week, dry line. Stay tuned for that.
Discover Can-Am's wide range of industry-leading vehicles during the Ready to Ride sales event. For a limited time, the Outlander L starts at $59.99. Or get the versatile Commander, the powerful Outlander, and the turbocharged Maverick XDS with cash rebates up to $2,000. Don't miss out. Visit your local dealer during the Ready to Ride sales event. Can-Am, the ride says it all.
Do you regularly wear underwear? Do you wear underwear?
Yeah.
Deb?
Yes.
Yes.
I never wear underwear.
Never? Was that too much information?
Yes.
Now, do you think you can get too much information from your car?
No.
This is an email from my car. There are hundreds of diagnostics that the vehicle gathers and sends to me. Does anybody want to meet the sender of this email? This is the 2015 Chevy Malibu.
I love it.
My feet felt so heavy at the end of the day.
They used to get really tired.
Until I started gelling.
I got Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles.
When they're in my shoes, my feet and legs feel less tired.
It's like walking on a wave.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles.
I'm a believer.
From coast to coast, in every state, people all across the nation are learning something new. That the best way to protect their cars, trucks, and SUVs is with WeatherTech floor liners. They're laser measured to perfectly protect your specific vehicle. Front, back, even up the sides. Order yours today at WeatherTech.com or call 1-800-CarMats. WeatherTech floor liners, proudly made in America.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Sorry.
This is more than a lawn. This is a True Green lawn. Live life outside with True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green, live life outside.
We are still in the eye, and we're still trying to get in a safe place.
She is in labor right now.
We know more about this system hour by hour.
This is our Pineapple Express pumping in that rainfall.
We are talking about a doozy of a storm.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 92, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 74. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Sunday, considerable cloudiness. High 91, winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
one man's trash
Get to work.
is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater.
Hot.
Brainstormers, tomorrow at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Well, happy Saturday to you. Welcome back to AMHQ Weekend. We are in the midst of severe weather season and lightning, a huge problem. Just last night in Houston, get this, thousands of lightning strikes, over 3,000 in 30 minutes.
Have you ever experienced that before? That sounds like a lot.
I've been in some impressive lightning storms, but that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It really scares you at night. I mean, it can wake you up and what planet am I on? You know, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty scary stuff. You know, lightning is one of the big hazards of severe weather. And today we're going to be talking about severe weather and the development of thunderstorms along what's called a dry line. That's going to be our Talk Like an Expert word of the day. Dry line. We'll talk about why it's important in general and also why it's relevant today. It's a very interesting word and it's an important one when you try to monitor and predict thunderstorm development across the plains.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
We're getting smart.
We are going to get smart. Take a look at the day ahead. America's top 3 right now. And we're going to start off with a look at, as Dr. Postel was saying, the weekend severe threat. And here it is. It's a big one.
This may really change your Saturday plans because you have to be near a television here at the Weather Channel. You need to be near something to alert you. Maybe it's your cell phone, your Weather Channel app, whatever it is. You need to be near something if you're planning on leaving the house at all today in this zone because that severe weather is a possibility.
Yes, it is. That's one of America's top 3. The second one, rain from the Midwest to the South. Again.
Have you had enough of it in the South? I mean, no sunshine for days and days and days, weeks now in some places. But that rain is actually going to move into the Midwest in some spots. And Chris, it's good news there because they have some drought.
They're having some drought issues, so that will help, of course, be painful because it's on the weekend. But regardless, you need it. Northeast, warm. That's right, northeast, warm, but then it's going to turn wet.
That's absurd. I'm sorry. Highs 5 to 20 degrees above average. That's awesome. But wait, because it does have a little bit of an edge to it. You are going to see more rain in your forecast. Good news is it's not until tomorrow.
Not tomorrow. At the earliest, maybe even holding off till Monday.
Right. Hey, we like that. Hey, okay, let's go ahead and kick things off in Houston for you, where we have some new video in this morning. A viewer sharing this with us. Roads underwater in the city. This is as much as 3 inches of rain that fell across spots. You can see that we are just swamped across this area. Now, more than that fell in some other areas. Now, there were some folks that still muscled through the roads. Bad call, people. We're going to tell you about that in just a little bit, why it's such a bad call to try and drive through standing water. So we do have more thunderstorms in the forecast for you. In fact, I just first want to show you what you have seen already over the last 12 hours alone in Houston. And you know it's been raining there for days. The soil is saturated. Look at this. You've had over 5.5 inches of rain in area south of Houston along I-10. That's kind of the dividing line between these lower rain totals, but you get just a little south of there. Nearly 4.5 inches of rainfall in some spots. And again, that's in just the last 12 hours. Look at this massive area of rain and thunderstorms. All this lightning moving on shore. Now, we have seen quite a soaker across Biloxi this morning, kind of that slow and steady stuff. New Orleans, you're just starting to get in the mix with some of these heavier rain totals. The river parishes there, like St. Charles Parish, you're going to be seeing a lot of rain today. You need to go ahead and prepare. It's going to be one of those days. It's going to be tough to get out and walk the dog. Morgan City, you've got a lot of rain on radar right now. You keep on with this deluge. If you go a little farther south, lightning might be waking you up. That big boom of thunder across Kansas and Oklahoma. That's a little involved with this system, but we want to let you know it is not severe. This is not severe. However, lightning is still dangerous. It doesn't mean you should go out right now in Emporia, Kansas, especially if you're making plans for the day. Look at this, 475 strikes that we're just seeing right now going on with this. So we just saw 4 more pop up. Kansas City, you're going to be next up in that mix. So if you have anything to get done, do it now. Chris.
Okay, there is a lot of severe weather to track. And as we track severe weather here at the Weather Channel, FEMA wants you to be ready. They're asking all of us to get ourselves and our communities prepared for dangerous weather. And right now, FEMA is getting the word out about its ongoing campaign called America's Preparathon. and it all culminates on April 30th, a national day of action. Joining us live from Louisville is Jim Bottom, the Technical Hazard Coordinator for Louisville's Emergency Management Agency. And Jim, thank you very much for joining us. Can you give us an idea of what Louisville is doing? I know coming after some flooding in recent weeks and a lot of stormy weather. What's going on there?
Well, good morning. We missed our kickoff day due to the weather, so we pushed back our kickoff for our Prepare-a-thon, where we're going to promote this community-wide preparedness. We've actually got FEMA in town right now. River's just a little bit away from flood stage, and FEMA came in to help with some assessments after the flooding we've had. The Prepare-a-thon, we're very excited about it. You know, we're the first city in Kentucky to do this. We're one of the largest in the United States to start this Prepare-a-thon. So we want this awareness to action campaign to really be successful here in our community. All right, and we want to go ahead.
I was just going to say, talk about your goals. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I mean, emergency managers are involved with this, FEMA's involved with this. How does this relate to the general public?
Well, in Kentucky, we have more running water than all but about 2 of the states. So every time it rains, even our metropolitan community here, there are flooding issues. We continue to have people that drive cars into moving water. You know, we want to promote the Turnaround, Don't Drown campaign. We want people to have weather radios and understand the flooding risk, perhaps before they even leave the house.
And, are there going to be any exercises or drills happening there in Louisville?
There will be, but like I say, we haven't had a push-out campaign yet, so being the Weather Channel, you know I don't want to steal anybody's thunder, so I don't want to talk about somebody's exercise until they have a chance to roll that out themselves.
What's the big message? What do you wish everyone knew?
Well, the biggest message is for everyone to understand where you live, wherever you live in the country, certainly in our community, what is the biggest risks to your community. And, you know, tornado and flooding are 2 of the big risks we have here. So we need to educate people on these tips to not become involved, not become part of the problem. And then when you do have a disaster, how can you insulate yourself from the effects of that disaster with proper preparedness skills?
Jim Bottom, thank you very much for joining us this morning, and best of luck to you as the event, Prepare-a-thon, goes on.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate your time, and you can have more information, get more information, ready.gov/prepare. And with all these hazards, Kate, we know now is the time to get ready.
We are talking about minutes, if not hours, in a few places where you need to be ready for some stronger storms today.
The Fiat 500 isn't alone anymore. It's part of a big Italian family.
The open road. It takes on many forms. From the scenic highways to the rugged trails. From the sand-covered to the well-traveled. They lead us to the beauty of nature and the beauty of simple pleasures. The open road is alive and well and waiting to take us to Pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
Are you sending your kids to school with an allergy medicine that may make them drowsy? Only Children's Claritin provides non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief.
And it's the #1 pediatrician-recommended non-drowsy brand.
In class and out, your kids can live Claritin Clear.
Your eyes depend on a unique set of nutrients.
That's why there's Ocuvite. Ocuvite helps replenish key eye nutrients. Ocuvite has a unique formula that's just not found in any leading multivitamin.
Help protect your eye health with Ocuvite.
From the very start, I wanted FitCore to be different. If you come to me, it's because you want to do what I do, because I don't do what other people do. It's kind of like creating a brand for myself.
Your business is unique. Your marketing should be too. With Vistaprint, it will be. Put your personal touch on 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. Just enter promo code TV500 at Vistaprint.com.
Stay true to yourself. You can do this how you want to do it, and somebody else is going to think that's awesome and want to do it that way too.
Vistaprint.com.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 92, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 74. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Sunday, considerable cloudiness. High 91, winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now, AMHQ Weekend, a live look at Chicago. This is Michigan Avenue, and you're looking south. Cars driving south, Magnificent Mile behind you. And what we can tell here, it's 54 degrees. Winds are calm, at least where this reading is taken. But you can see here, the Chicago River goes underneath this bridge, and Lake Michigan is that way. So you have winds coming this way. So you have easterly winds coming, at least funneling through some of the buildings here in downtown Chicago. And this is your forecast for the rest of this day, 59 degrees. It is going to stay wet at times. You're looking at a chance for some rain again on Sunday, and then windy and wet on Monday, but nice, although a little windy right now. And there's a big party happening on the East Coast. It's happening in Washington, D.C. today for Earth Day, and it's called the Citizens Earth Day Celebration. More than 200,000 people expected to attend, and Reagan Medji is one of those in D.C. with a look at how one automaker is doing its part for Mother Nature.
We're here in Washington, D.C., where on Saturday, beginning at noon, a huge Earth Day event. And what better way to celebrate Mother Earth than with an energy-efficient vehicle? We're in front of the new Toyota Mirai. Now, this bad boy, zero emission and hydrogen fueled. That's right. Let's talk to Bob Wimmer. He is the national manager of Toyota. So explain how this hydrogen fuel works.
The great thing about hydrogen is it can refuel like a conventional gasoline vehicle. So you come up to a dispenser like this. Nozzle is very similar to a gasoline nozzle.
Okay.
You pick it up, put it into the vehicle. It connects up just like a gasoline vehicle.
Takes about the same time.
3 to 5 minutes. You're done. You disconnect it, and off you go.
Okay, so at this point, this would make about 300-mile trip, and we're going to break this entire vehicle down. We're going to go back over in the area here. We're going to have you stand over here, and we're going to break down the vehicle and see what does it do with the hydrogen then. So, okay, take it away.
So the hydrogen we just filled the vehicle with goes into these 2 tanks. Then the hydrogen is routed to the fuel cell stack that generates the electricity. The only exhaust is water vapor from the stack. That electricity then is increased in voltage through the boost converter, and finally it goes to the power control unit that drives the electric motor that drives the front wheels of the vehicle.
That's awesome. So again, this vehicle, the Toyota Mirai, we'll look at it again. This is not available for the entire country just yet. Starting in California, and then it's going to move to the Northeast. California, this fall, the Northeast, sometime in 2016. Back to you.
Reagan, thank you. You know what else is awesome? The forecast for D.C. 9 o'clock, 60s, 70s, around 80 degrees between 3 and 5. And then this evening also looking dry and nice, plenty of sunshine. And when you have a big event going on, Kate, it's tough to beat a forecast like this. It's going to be warm, but not too hot.
Put on some sunscreen and enjoy it. That looks like a good looking forecast, especially because it's a rainy weekend for about a third of the country. You know, some of you will have clear skies like what you just saw there. And if you live near a national park, go out and enjoy it. National Park Week kicks off this weekend and parks are waiving the admission fee. So here to tell us more about it is Lori Rome with the Capitol Reef National Park in Utah. Now, Lori, we have first of all, it's gorgeous behind you. Let me just start by saying that. We have over over 400 national parks, places people can visit in our country with these beautiful landscapes right in our own backyard. What exactly is National Park Week?
Oh, well, National Park Week runs from April 18th through April 26th, and it is the largest celebration of our national heritage. National Park Service is here to preserve and protect these amazing resources, and it's really a time that people can get out and explore, discover, learn all about it, and absolutely get out there and find the park near them. Go find your park.
Lori, Capitol Reef Park looks gorgeous there behind you, but what is your favorite park?
Well, I am at Capitol Reef, and honestly, it is pretty great. We've got 280 million years of geologic history, diverse ecology, and great history about Fremont culture and Mormon pioneers. But don't forget, half the park is after dark, and we've got some pretty spectacular night skies.
Oh, yeah. You guys have some probably great stargazing there. Lori Rome, thank you so much for being with us this morning and helping us to encourage people to get outside, enjoy the great outdoors, and go to our national parks this week. Hey, you guys, no excuses. If it's nice where you're living this weekend, those national parks are free, like Mount Rushmore, like you see here. A little rainy, though.
I started my Camry. Ran a race most wouldn't dream of starting. Chose to take down a monster. And realized when it's dark enough, you can see the stars. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Nexium 24-hour. It's the purple pill, the #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
Advanced Design makes it easy to protect your dog or cat from fleas and ticks. Discover Seresto. With the performance you expect from topicals in a non-greasy collar, Seresto provides protection against fleas and ticks for 8 months. Seresto.
Today, you brighten the room. A gallon of paint? Check. Drop cloths? Check. Painter's tape? Check. Rollers and trays? Check and check.
Wow, looks nice.
Caribbean blue.
You mean Caribbean?
Caribbean. Agreeing on a color? Done. With everything you need for a makeover at Walmart's low prices you can trust every day, what project will you take on?
Monday morning, California in crisis. The historic drought, not just affecting your food, but your fashion as well. We'll have the story starting on Wake Up With Al at AMHQ, Monday morning at 5, only on the...
Want a seat in every stadium in the league? MLB Extra Innings and Xfinity from Comcast put you in the front row for your favorite team wherever you live. With up to 80 out-of-market games a week, you can watch the games you want to watch all season long. Plus, with the X1 Sports app, you can get live scores in real time and easily switch between close games. Order MLB Extra Innings right now for just 4 easy payments of $49.75 each. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com/sports today.
If you're not happy with how your allergy medicine treats your congestion, rethink relief with Nasacort Allergy 24-hour. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your symptoms, Nasacort stops more, relieving the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion, for 24 hours. It's non-addictive and has no harsh taste, and unlike Flonase, it's scent and alcohol-free. And it's available over-the-counter at full prescription strength. Rethink your relief with Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable.
Currently in our area, 76 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 92, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 74. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Sunday, considerable cloudiness. High 91. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Right now on AMHQ, Dr. Postel is going to talk, and if you listen, you'll be able to talk like an expert because he's the expert talking about the dry line, what it is and how it's going to affect our weather today.
Yeah, dry line. Let's get to the definition, Chris, because, you know, it's a word that we throw around a lot, but I think it's important to know. And it's not, I mean, I think you can get the essence of it pretty easily because like we talk about fronts on maps, you can think of a dry line as kind of a front in a way that separates very moist air from very dry air. So let's look at the definition here. It's actually a zone where there's a strong contrast in moisture, horizontal moisture gradient, just another word for strong contrast in moisture, near and just above the surface too. It extends upward a little bit, say a couple thousand feet.
All right, so
yeah, let's do it.
The difference?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. We're going to look at it a little bit deeper here and give you sort of a broader sort of sense of what it is. It is most commonly observed in the Great Plains of the United States. And because it's the boundary between moist air from the Gulf of Mexico and dry air from West Texas or the desert Southwest, that contrast in air masses, when it's brought together, can sometimes initiate thunderstorm development. So Chris, it's something that we have to watch very closely. And on a weather map, we often draw it like this.
You think about New Mexico and Houston meeting together.
Right.
The different weather. If you've ever been to New Mexico or you've ever been to Phoenix, if you've ever been to Houston or Louisiana, it's different.
Houston, one step closer. Yeah, Houston, very humid air here in southeast Texas, very frequently as air comes in off the Gulf of Mexico. But there's oftentimes, at the same time, a westerly wind of much drier air coming in from the southwest. So Chris, imagine you're an air parcel from Phoenix. You're pretty dry, right?
Pretty dry, dude. Yeah.
I'm coming from Houston. I'm pretty humid. So
and we're coming
together and we're sharpening up that contrast. And when that contrast gets pretty sharp, it's called a dry line. And on a weather map, it is oftentimes drawn like that, kind of like a mustard-shaped warm front or a mustard-colored warm front, basically. That's how it's drawn, as that boundary between those two very different air masses, the moist and the dry. And on the satellite pictures, you can also pick it out because it's oftentimes is the region where thunderstorms develop. There you go. You see those little white guys here? This is thunderstorm activity developing right along the dry line. So that's not today. This is a generic satellite picture.
This is an example.
An example showing you thunderstorm development along the dry line. So when we come back, right after the break, we'll talk about why thunderstorms and how they develop along that line and why it matters today.
And that forecast, and you'll also look at the circulation under there too. Pretty cool stuff.
Cool.
Dr. Postel back teaching you how to talk like an expert.
Now at Boston Market, new slow braised pulled pork. So tender, it falls apart. Topped with zesty barbecue or garlic citrus sauce. A bold new taste from the slow roasting experts at Boston Market.
6 smoky hours, one tasty dish. Slow braised pulled pork, now at Boston Market.
When a moment spontaneously turns romantic, why pause to take a pill? And why stop what you're doing to find a bathroom? With Cialis for daily use, you don't have to plan around either. It's the only daily tablet approved to treat erectile dysfunction, so you can be ready anytime the moment is right. Plus, Cialis treats the frustrating urinary symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently, day or night. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medicines and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as it may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, get medical help right away for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or any symptoms of an allergic reaction, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Why pause the moment? Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use. For a free 30-tablet trial, go to Cialis.com.
I always dreamed of coming here. When my asthma symptoms returned, my doctor prescribed Dulera to help prevent them.
Dulera is for patients 12 and older whose asthma is not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Dulera will not replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms.
A 6-month clinical study has shown Dulera helps significantly improve lung function.
Dulera contains formoterol, which increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Dulera is not for people whose asthma is well controlled with a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Dulera and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Dulera more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Dulera.
So much food is going to waste. The scale is pretty shocking.
It goes straight in the garbage. We're wasting 40% of our food. My question, how much of it is still good and can I eat it?
The challenge, to survive for 6 months only on food destined for the dumpster.
Do I have to go dumpster diving on my lunch break?
I'm starting to enjoy this.
And following the film, join Tom Colicchio to learn how together we can stop the waste. Just Eat It, Wednesday at 10 on MSNBC.
There was one?
All right, welcome back in the lab. Dr. Greg Postel, talking like an expert because he is here to help you talk like an expert. And the discussion right now is dry line. What it is, we discussed what that was, the separation of the dry air and the moist air. But when they come together, that's when the action happens.
Correct, Mundo. And it's that confluence, or actually convergence, near the ground that helps initiate this ascent, this rising motion.
Coming together.
It's like a sea breeze, really, because there's a little bit of a heating difference across the moist air and the very dry air from the west. Imagine a sea breeze. You're on the beach, Chris, and in the afternoon you see the clouds billowing up just inland from where the ocean is. That's kind of what's going on here. The air is rising up here just inland, or just on the warm side of things, where the air coming in to fill that void is drawing that warm and moist air from this side. So the converging air and the rising motion can initiate sometimes thunderstorm activity. If that convergence is strong enough and if the air is unstable enough, this thunderstorm or this cloud can grow into a thunderstorm and can be pretty severe at times. So we've got that. And here's why it matters today, because there's the dry line today, and there's the thunderstorm activity developing along it later on this afternoon. So I think that's going to be an active player across the plains.
And we'll see. We'll stay tuned. Thank you, Dr. Postel. Let's go to Kate.
You know, we're just hearing reports into the Weather Channel here. A pretty wild scene at a circus last night in Brazoria County, Texas. Now, video that we just saw shows Carson and Barnes Circus as a strong thunderstorm started to move in around 7:30 last night. Now, about 30 minutes into the show, officials from the Angleton Fire Department told everyone to relocate to the pavilion. When the hail started to fall, officials announced that attendees should leave their tent for their safety. We did see a lot of videos posted to social media. We're going to continue that story as Weekend Recharge gets kicked off here on the Weather Channel. Thanks for joining us this morning.
It tastes better when you grow it. It tastes even better when you share it. It's not hard. It's doable. It's growable. Get going with Growables. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
It's gonna tempt your tummy with a taste of nuts and honey. It's honey of an old. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
Now with a full line of independent rear suspension options, the Foreman, Rubicon, and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda. Now get low fixed financing rates plus up to $500 in bonus bucks during the Honda Dream Garage sales event.
You drop 40 grand on a new set of wheels, then wham, a minivan T-bones you. Guess what? Your insurance company will only give you $37,000 to replace it. Depreciation, they claim. How can my car depreciate before its first oil change, you ask? Maybe the better question is, why do you have that insurance company?
With Liberty Mutual New Car Replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 92, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 74. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Sunday, considerable cloudiness. High 91. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's bad. I mean, water's up to the knees.
Rain, it just won't go away. Mobile, Alabama, picking up 3 months worth of rain in just 1 week, but finally there is some sunlight at the end of the tunnel.
But dangerous supercell thunderstorms like this one will remain on the prowl for the entire weekend, and they could spawn more tornadoes today, even tomorrow, as the threat starts to shift east. In fact, torcons of 4 already up for some highly populated areas.
It's just turning into a ghost town. Water brings people. Without water, you got nothing.
Crop's not the only thing shriveling up as California's drought disaster gets worse. Livelihoods, family legacies, and entire towns are too. One town struggled to survive right here, right now on Weekend Recharge.
Wow, no doubt about it. It's been one hail of a stormy week across the South.
I mean, damaging hail, winds, tornadoes, lots and lots of rain. Mobile, Alabama's picked up 10.9 inches of rain just since last Saturday. Good morning to you. Welcome to Weekend Recharge. I'm Maria LaRosa.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. Well, after days and days of downpours, there is finally an end in sight. We're going to tell you when things will finally start to dry out. But in the meantime, we still have a couple more days of this. Check this out.
Yeah, watch closely. Lightning lighting up a woman's yard in Edgerly, Louisiana. This is between Baton Rouge and Houston, where about 2 to 4 inches of rain has fallen just over the past day.
Now, storms are also strong enough to tear the roof off of a house in Galveston Island there in Texas. And more severe weather is on the way today, bringing flash flood threats all across the region.
And today's severe storm threat spans a vast area. On the southern edge of these storms, we have New Orleans, and then you have Oklahoma City on the northern edge. And you can see both of these cities have had quite an interesting last few days. Unfortunately, a lot of that has had to do with a lot of rain and some hail, damaging winds, more of that on the way. So it is an incredibly busy weather weekend. We want to arm you with the best information to keep you alert and make sure that you have a way to get your family prepared right now. One of the threats that we're also tracking, of course, all of that rain. We still have flood watches that are posted here from eastern Texas clear on through the panhandle of Florida. These have been in place since Monday. So that kind of tells you the weather pattern that we've had over the last week and more. Look at this light show right now off of the Louisiana coast, also off of Pensacola. Lots of heavy rain associated with that. This is being held to about the I-10 corridor for now, but we're going to see this stationary front get that nudge to the north, basically turning into a warm front as that surge of warmth and more humidity begins to push towards the I-20 corridor. Take a look at the clock here. We stop about the lunch hour. So again, I-20 between Dallas and Jackson socked in with heavy rainfall. Again, any of these at this point this afternoon have the chance to be on the severe side. We're talking gusty winds and hail all the way from Jackson, clearing up through Kansas, Houston as well. We know what Houston has been through over the last several days, so more heavy rain for you as well. Even on into tomorrow, I want to point out that we are also seeing that severe threat nudge to the north. We're talking Ohio Valley now as we get through the day tomorrow, and you can see 4 for the torcons, northern Louisiana and Arkansas, and then also 4 out of 10 for western Tennessee, and western Mississippi. So again, now is the time to prepare.
And we'll be here all weekend, keeping you covered on that.
Yeah.
Well, all week we've seen hail, lightning, tornadoes, dust storms, flooding, and even heavy snow.
So there's no question about it. We are now in the thick of severe weather season, and the federal government is urging individuals, businesses, and communities to get prepared by taking part in America's Preparathon. Thank you. On April 30th. I'm going to have to prepare that next time I read it. It is National Day of Action.
And joining us now, you just heard him, is Roy Acree, fire chief for Smyrna, Georgia, which is a suburb of the Atlanta area. And we're talking to you today because Smyrna is definitely kind of a leader in terms of getting the city as well as their residents prepared. So talk about this program and how people and your city is really a forerunner in preparedness.
Sure, Paul. Well, as you mentioned, we have been involved specifically for about 2 years now with America's Preparathon, and it's been such a huge benefit for our community because it really takes the next step from preparedness information and really encourages action, and that's what's really important. You just mentioned it, Maria. Now's the time to prepare. Really what we're asking all of America to do, and specifically with these National Days of Action, is to take the time to understand what your threats are, the many that you've just mentioned, and physically practice what you would do, where you would go, what you would need to keep you and your family safe during a threat of severe weather.
And really quickly too, that it's a national program, but they're also asking that you kind of focus on the threats specific to your area. What do you usually
That's a great point. You know, I live in the Southeast, and our primary threats are severe weather, tornadoes, even flooding, that type of thing. So we use that information to help us understand what we should practice for.
All right, Roy Acree, fire chief from the Smyrna Fire Department. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Well, we're also tracking the risk of more severe. In fact, take a look at this in Northern Plains. We got some thunderstorms out there right now. And once again, just like last Saturday, Kansas City, we got showers and thunderstorms this morning headed your way. Although, unlike last week, they kind of moved in and moved out around this time. This week, they're just moving in at this time, and plenty of lightning here. But this is really a precursor of what's going to happen later on today when we have more severe weather. No warnings right now with any of these storms, but again, lightning always dangerous this time of the morning. Washing the dishes, getting a shower, giving the kids a bath, all dangerous things, all dangerous ways to let that lightning charge come into your house. So you definitely want to be aware of that as well. So again, warm front also pushing this through, so a lot of these storms are elevated. But look at our upper level low. Still lingering back here in the Rockies. You are still waking up to midwinter conditions on the slopes. And unfortunately, this is a sign of things done with it. With a changing climate. You get a ton of snow in April when people are thinking about skiing, they're thinking about playing golf and hiking. That's definitely something we'll talk about later on. But looking at our forecast this morning, rain coming in and through Wichita into Kansas City. But as we head towards the afternoon hours, we're going to watch the I-35 corridor once again for more thunderstorms to erupt this afternoon. And this will be the area for strong and severe thunderstorms, hail, and damaging wind as we head throughout the day as well. Then later on tonight, they'll start to slowly wind down, but still, areas across the Central Plains here are at risk for strong and severe thunderstorms. And of course, all the Gulf of Mexico moisture still coming in here. The Gulf Coast states still seeing scattered showers and thunderstorms. Well, the Carolinas should be a little drier today, but we do have the risk of severe weather. Torcon up for central Kansas and central Oklahoma of a 3, which is a 30% chance of seeing a tornado within 50 miles of this region. Maria?
Well, Paul, meanwhile, it's a perfect park and picnic weather soaking up kind of day in the Northeast before more soaking rain moves in there, too. One of those cities right there will take you, New York.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Call about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
I got red dirt stains on my boots and jeans, callous fingers from my guitar strings, wild like the wind in the tall pine trees. I got roots and I got wings.
It's the Suit and Tie event now at Men's Warehouse. Select suits are on sale for $199.99. All ties, 3 for $75. Plus, buy one, get one free on even more. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Advanced design makes it easy to protect your dog or cat from fleas and ticks. Discover Seresto. With the performance you expect from topicals in a non-greasy collar, Seresto provides protection against fleas and ticks for 8 months. Seresto.
Discover Can-Am's wide range of industry-leading vehicles during the Ready to Ride sales event. For a limited time, the Outlander L starts at $59.99. Or get the versatile Commander, the powerful Outlander, and the turbocharged Maverick XDS with cash rebates up to $2,000. Don't miss out. Visit your local dealer during the Ready to Ride sales event. Can-Am, the ride says it all.
Monday morning, California in crisis. The historic drought, not just affecting your food, but your fashion as well. We'll have the story starting on Wake Up With Al at AMHQ, Monday morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. High 92, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Tonight, thunderstorms early, low 74. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 40%. Sunday, considerable cloudiness. High 91, winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Everything has been building towards this moment. Who will melt under the pressure? 16 teams, 1 champion. The Stanley Cup Playoffs on the networks of NBC Universal.
Watch the children for sure. Check this out. New video just in of a pretty wild scene at the circus last night in Angleton, Texas, just outside of Houston. Now you're looking at video of the Carson and Barnes Circus as a strong thunderstorm started to move in around 7:30 last night. About 30 minutes into the show, officials from the Angleton Fire Department told everyone to relocate to the pavilion.
Now, when the hail started to fall, officials announced that attendees should leave the tent for their safety. Videos posted to social media show crowds scattering, children screaming, and the rain just blowing into the sides of the Big Top. The good news is no injuries reported, but you can see it was a little bit chaotic there. That's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, and I mean, it's probably, looked more dangerous than it was, but when you deal with kids and children, that's, you got to protect their future. You got to protect that, and I know they were probably still freaked out this morning.
Right, and unfortunately, when the hail starts falling, it's kind of too late at that point to start. You should have done it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and again, with a tent, you don't have as much protection, especially with things like lightning. And unfortunately, Maria, we're seeing a lot more lightning out there right now. But the good news is, not in the Northeast.
Not in the Northeast. We're hanging on. It looks like for most of us, one more day. So pick your spot, pick your favorite park, get out there now, claim it. I'll be mad at you if you don't go out there and enjoy it. I really will. Because look at this, Philadelphia, gorgeous today. Fairmont Park, sunshine 81. Don't forget the sunscreen because otherwise you'll have all those rosy faces here come Monday. Sunday is that transition day. Notice the temperature drop, but Monday is when you start to get in on all the storminess that we're talking about now in through the central U.S. and the southeast. So today, can't pick a better day. Clouds start to roll in tomorrow, though, as you can see from New York and Philadelphia. Those temperatures come down, but already Pittsburgh and D.C., we have showers in your forecast, and so plan accordingly with your plans for this weekend. So by Monday and Tuesday, the same warm front that's helping to trigger showers in the south now, well, that's going to make its way up into the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast, taking with it all the clouds and all of that rain. So Monday into Tuesday, you're going to have a case of the Mondays here. Trying to get to work and school might be a bit tricky. And to add on top of that, we're going to have to ramp up our severe threat It's been a while in the Northeast since we've had to deal with this. But look at this, the entire 95 corridor from Philadelphia, New York, really down to Jacksonville. And that threat is there, not just damaging winds and hail, but yes, Paul, we've got a 3 out of 10 in the D.C. area here where we're looking at that concern for tornadoes. So it is definitely a high alert day come early next week for the Northeast.
Yeah, but like you said, get out today.
Get out
today. Today is going to be gorgeous. People in the South are jealous of that for sure. But speaking of a beautiful day in the area, a pretty big party going on right now in Washington, D.C. for Earth Day. It's called Citizen Earth Day Celebration.
So great. Our Reagan Medji has a preview.
Music is filling the air here in Washington, D.C., all in preparation for the big Earth Day event Saturday starting at noon. That stage is right over here. There are expected to be about 200,000 plus people for this event. And what is it all about? It's about educating the public about global issues like climate change and global poverty, in addition to activating the public to do something. The Earth Day Network president, Kathleen Rogers, explains a little bit more about what this event really means.
We are joining everybody around the world together into a single event. We're combining poverty, climate, development issues, environmental issues. It also coincides with the annual meeting of the World Bank, so you'll see a lot of heads of state, finance ministers. Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General of the UN, is coming. And it's also sort of a moment of sort of profound importance because we're all moving towards December and the treaty that we hope will be accomplished and signed in Paris in December.
While the band No Doubt is continuing their sound check for Saturday's big event for Earth Day here in Washington, D.C., that event starts at noon all the way until 7:30 at night. It's free and open to the public. It's all about climate change and global poverty, raising awareness and activating change. Back to you guys.
A great message, but what a great lineup. I mean, one of my favorites, No Doubt, is going to be playing as well.
What a great day to get out there and enjoy. Look at the forecast here in D.C. As Mary just mentioned, again, nothing but sunshine here. Your average highs should be in the low 70s to upper 60s. We're pushing 80 degrees today. Barely a cloud in the sky. And enjoy it, because again, we got that rain, possibly even severe weather coming in as we head late Sunday into Monday.
All right, so keep it tuned in. Lots of changes for you in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Well, much more ahead on the severe weather crossing the plains today.
Well, California remains in crisis. Water levels are dropping. How farmers are adjusting to the drought and why this town is literally shrinking in Southern California.
But right now, we're still tracking thunderstorms still rolling across the Gulf Coast states. New Orleans, more rain is on the way. Same thing in the Florida Panhandle. So get out there, get your newspaper and your coffee now. It's coming on in. Kansas City, also storms headed your way, packed with lightning.
And along with that, the torrential rainfall. Everywhere you see the orange and the yellow, that rain is coming down. If you're traveling along Interstate 80 out of Lincoln towards Omaha, you're in good shape, but those storms are moving to the northeast. We'll track it all for you coming up after your local on the 8s.
Today, I'm going to fight hunger. Today, I don't want to be hungry. We just have to buy food. My family gets the food we need. I'm so glad we could help. I'm so glad someone helped.
Hunger lives closer than you think. Purchase participating items at Walmart and you can help secure a meal for someone through Feeding America food banks.
Advanced Design makes it easy to protect your dog or cat from fleas and ticks. Discover Seresto. With the performance you expect from topicals in a non-greasy collar, Seresto provides protection against fleas and ticks for 8 months. Seresto.
Oh no. Can you fix it, Dad?
Yeah, I can fix that. I wanted a car that could handle anything. I fixed it! That's why I got a Subaru Legacy.
Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 36 mpg.
I gotta break more toys.
The 2015 Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru.
Book a tee time 24/7 with Golf Now. Day or night. Even after the course closes. Search the largest selection of available tee times at over 6,000 great courses. Book your round in no time with Golf Now.
It's the most expensive real estate in $1 million listing history. Yes!
life's changing for New York's top realtors.
So we're gonna have a baby.
I'd like to shut down Times Square.
But life doesn't negotiate.
No high kicks, no weed, get it done.
$1 Million Listing New York, all new every Wednesday at 10, 9 Central. Only by Bravo.
Did you know that more than 1,300 smokers die each day and that 9 out of 10 smokers start in their teens? Learn more at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
If you're not happy with how your allergy medicine treats your congestion, rethink relief with Nasacort Allergy 24-Hour. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your symptoms, Nasacort stops more, relieving the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion, for 24 hours. It's non-addictive and has no harsh taste, and unlike Flonase, it's scent and alcohol-free. And it's available over the counter at full prescription strength. Rethink your relief with Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable.
Monday morning, California in crisis. The historic drought, not just affecting your food, but your fashion as well. We'll have the story starting on Wake Up with Al at AMHQ, Monday morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, scattered thunderstorms. High 91, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 74, chance of rain 30%. Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy. High 91, winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Houston, Texas, the latest victim of flash flooding from the southern super soaker. Cars looked more like the submarines after one swamped the city yesterday. Pasadena and southeast Houston picked up even more, 3.6 inches, and that fell in 30 minutes. So that's the definition of flash flooding.
And that is what my father calls a frog strangler.
Yes,
it's
yes.
that much rain coming on through there. We've seen plenty of rain yesterday. Again, officially at the airport, 1.1, past 7 days. The airport picked up over 5 inches, which brings us to about 5 1/4 per date, which, yeah, is closing in on some of the wettest Aprils ever.
Right, they're already, they need about 2.5 inches, Houston does, to crack the top 10 wettest Aprils, and we're not done yet.
And we'll probably get more rain today.
Absolutely.
And hopefully some dry weather tomorrow as well. Let's talk about that, because we're definitely still seeing all the ingredients come into play, not only for rain there across Texas, but also severe weather going across much of the plains and Midwest as well. Let's talk about this. We have all this moisture from the Gulf of Mexico in play coming on in here, so it's not just a problem for Houston. We're seeing days of rain as far east as Atlanta into the Carolinas as well. What a soggy week you've been dealing with. And now we have this warm front pumping this moisture across the Midwest and the plains as well. Now again, in terms of all the ingredients for severe weather, we need an upper level energy and trigger. We have this disturbance that will slowly finally push eastward. By the way, this has been dumping snow across the Wasatch, across the Rockies, but it's the middle of April. If this was January, February, great, but April, ski resorts are closing, so what a waste of that, but it will help out the water resources. That's the good news. So all this comes together with some energy from the subtropical jet, and that will give us the risk of strong and severe thunderstorms, possibly even tornadoes with that upper level energy here. So we got the threat today and even tonight across parts of the I-35 corridor as far south as the Big Bend area, all the way into areas of Nebraska. We also have the risk across the Gulf Coast states as well. So Panama City, Mobile, even New Orleans has that risk of severe weather as well. And in terms of the torcons today, risk of tornadoes, we have a 30% chance here from central Kansas through central Oklahoma over the next 24 hours there. We also have a risk tomorrow as well. But again, Wichita, as we head towards the afternoon hours, we'll start seeing more thunderstorms thunderstorms erupt, and some of those, again, could be strong and severe. So the severe threat continues even as we head into Sunday.
I mean, we're stuck in this rut of a pattern that makes it really rainy on one side, not so much on the other, which is not good news, because in Central California, the severe drought is literally causing towns to sink as much as a foot a year in certain places as farmers drain groundwater aquifers.
And NBC's Haley Jackson visited one town that's losing ground in more than one way.
For the first time in 50 years, there are no cantaloupes on Tony Azevedo's farm.
You know, this field would have been cantaloupes had we had the water, or tomatoes, or garlic, or onions, or beans.
The crops he is growing get groundwater, which is getting more precious the longer this drought lasts. Like his neighbors, Azevedo's strategic about what he pumps.
We've got all these straws in the ground and one cup that we're all pulling out of.
That cup is getting emptier. Water levels around here have dropped some 80 feet in 3 years. The land? Dropping too, with parts of the Central Valley sinking as fast as a foot a year. Stratford is sinking in more ways than one.
A third of our ranch is idle. That's a third less we're spending into the community. The local hardware store, the auto parts store, the tractor dealership.
The unemployment rate's about triple the national average. Businesses boarded up. No gas stations, no cafes.
It just turned it into a ghost town.
You can get a fresh cup of coffee at the auto parts store across from Hardin's.
Water brings people. Without water, you got nothing.
No water and no work means no money for some of Mahmoud Al-Mahiri's customers. Here, instead of paying, people can just promise to. So these are IOUs. Hundreds of IOUs worth thousands of dollars.
$7,000 outstanding in IOUs. Can you afford to put that much money out?
It hurts me a lot.
It's the price Al-Mahiri pays to help neighbors in need, hoping his business will survive, and so will Stratford for the next generation. Like Tony Azevedo's kids, who might take over the farm one day.
I'm going to fight like hell that we're not going to lose it.
Running low on water, a town drained, fighting to keep from sinking further. Hallie Jackson, NBC News, Stratford, California.
And as the drought ravages California, one industry is using technology to help cut its water usage.
Dave Malkoff has a preview of an in-depth series we're starting on Monday here on the Weather Channel called California in Crisis.
I'm Dave Malkoff in California, covering the historic drought here. People are still using water, not just in agriculture, but also in the fashion industry. Have you ever seen how much water that industry uses? We'll tell you about one innovation that may help that thirsty industry use less water. That's coming up Monday morning right here on the Weather Channel.
Fascinating look at that. And of course, we're going to take a science behind the look of too much water. Coming
across
up.
the South, I do declare.
Spelunking in soggy pants. Spelunking in Duluth dry on the fly pants. Duluth trading dry on the fly pants. Dry your legs, lickety split. Get a pair. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
How do I get hotel deals nobody else gets?
Trust me, I'm a great negotiator.
Priceline Negotiator.
60% off.
40.
60.
40.
60.
40.
40.
60.
Trust me, they can't say no to me. I've been doing this for 20 years.
Can I get an upgrade?
Trust me, and you'll never overpay again. Seriously?
I'm trusting you.
Exclusive hotel deals up to 60% off. Priceline.com.
He says she's an undisciplined overwaterer. She claims he's a cruel underwaterer. With Miracle Grow Moisture Control Potting Mix, plants only get water when they need it. Fight ended or shifted. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain. It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do? Drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
With Liberty Mutual new car replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Joseph A. Bank presents Your Choice, Your Savings. Purchase one suit and receive 3 additional suits free. Plus, all traveler shirts are 3 for $99 through Tuesday. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
Advanced design makes it easy to protect your dog or cat from fleas and ticks. Discover Seresto. With the performance you expect from topicals in a non-greasy collar, Seresto provides protection against fleas and ticks for 8 months. Seresto.
Book a tee time 24/7 with Golf Now. Day or night, even after the course closes. Search the largest selection of available tee times at over 6,000 great courses. Book your round in no time with Golf Now.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, scattered thunderstorms. High 91, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 74. Chance of rain 30%. Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy. High 91, winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Monday morning, California in crisis. The historic drought, not just affecting your food, but your fashion as well. We'll have the story starting on Wake Up With Al at AMHQ, Monday morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back to Weekend Recharge. It is 30 past the hour. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Marie LaRosa.
And I'm Paul Goodlow. Well, check this out. Reported tornado in Kansas. This was in Thomas County in western Kansas near the Colorado line yesterday.
Yeah, thunderstorms produce hail, high winds, funnel clouds, dime-sized hail reported west of here in Stockton, Kansas overnight.
And people in Texas have been dealing with heavy rain, as you can see, plenty of lightning as well.
This was Corpus Christi overnight. They got hit with wind gusts over 50 miles an hour, and in some areas, hail accumulation was measurable. So you know what that means. It probably looked a little bit like snow on the ground.
This is just hail. Again, that's part of our top 3 stories here. The biggest story here is the concern for severe weather. Look at a stretch from Florida, basically back to the Four Corners. And even tomorrow, we're not done yet. Parts of the Midwest, the Southeast, and Gulf Coast states, we could see strong and severe thunderstorms, including tornadoes tomorrow. And look at the heavy rain threat. Again, it continues across the region. Many areas have already picked up 5 to 8 inches just this week, and more to come as we head through this weekend. And meanwhile, some of that moisture also heading across parts of the Great Lakes, ending your nice weekend, bringing some wet weather as we head into next week.
You know, Paul, we've been talking about the flooding too because of that. Look at this in Houston last night. Lots of localized flooding. Water almost reaching the tops of car tires near Houston Hobby Airport. They picked up nearly 3 inches, and that just fell in about 6 hours. That's enough to cause scenes like this. And it's raining throughout the weekend, at least the chance of it. So we are very concerned about these areas in particular where you have the green, the flash flood watches, and these have been up since Monday. You are saturated, so any additional rainfall is just going to run off. You're going to get those streams and creeks to rise really quickly. You're going to get that flooding on the roadway from Lake Charles all the way to Mobile. And you saw scenes like that with the car. We don't want that to be you today or tomorrow or ever. So let's kind of talk about the numbers and what it takes to do something like that. And you'll be surprised, it doesn't take much. So water weighs 62.4 pounds per cubic foot, typically flows downstream 6 to 12 miles per hour. Now, water's momentum, it's transferred to the car. So that moving water is now part of the car's movement. For every foot of water, 500 pounds of lateral force is applied to the car. So imagine how much of that force is now against your car. The biggest factor, of course, is buoyancy. The car displaces the water as it moves around it. So in effect, the car is weighing 1,500 pounds less for each foot of water rise. Think about that. 2 feet of water will carry away most automobiles. It only takes about a foot of water to move smaller cars, but think about the foot of water is enough to stall automobiles. So say you're not even floating away yet, you have lost control of your car in as little as a foot of water, and then you get that water to move just a little bit, and unfortunately we see these scenes over and over again. Don't think you know how deep the water is. If you see other cars going, be like, good for you. I'm going to take a different route. It'll save you maybe your life, but at the very least maybe some insurance money.
My rule of thumb is you can't see the curb, I'm not driving on it.
Don't do it.
And I'm certainly not walking it.
Don't do
You'll
it.
see me in a live shot walking through Need. That's
nope, not going to do it.
Take a look at some of these tower cams. Speaking of rain, we're seeing more rain. It's raining right now in New Orleans.
Can you believe it? I mean, when hasn't it been raining when we've looked at these tower cams the last week, right? And then you have on the left, Houston. What a night you had. I was watching Dr. Forbes last night track these storms as they were tearing through your city there. And of course, Paul, we were looking at that heavy rain, but more in store, not only today, but through the weekend. Right, Paul?
That's right. Take a little closer look at what's going on here, because it's, again, rain and flooding, a huge concern, but also a risk of severe weather once again across the Midwest and the plains here. But we'll first take a look at the Gulf Coast states. The I-10 corridor is still a soggy ride. You saw that tower cam out of New Orleans. More rain headed your way, as well as all across the panhandle of Florida and parts of southern Alabama and southern Georgia. Also more rain for your Saturday. We could see a little break here, but the concern, we have more sunshine. That can give you more scattered showers, more thunderstorms, more heavy rain across much of Texas as well. So there's our stationary front. Also tracking some storms rolling across the Midwest as well. So in terms of the severe weather, we put this in motion. More storms heading on towards New Orleans. See some scattered showers up towards Little Rock. Even Atlanta, some clouds out there right now. Could still see a few scattered showers, although we'll think a better chance of more widespread long duration rain coming tomorrow as well. So take a look at the forecast here for severe weather stretching across much of central and lower Alabama into areas of Mississippi, back through areas of the Big Bend of Texas, stretching up the I-35 corridor, even into areas of Nebraska as we head throughout the day today. And again, the southern plains as well, the Midwest also seeing this. Storms with lightning already moving across areas of eastern Kansas, pushing towards southwestern Missouri and Kansas City with our warm front coming on through here. But we're also watching the upper level low. That's going to add more energy here. So we have even a greater risk of seeing possibly tornadic thunderstorms throughout this afternoon right along the I-35 corridor here, as well as back through the plains as we head throughout the day. And again, it pushes eastward into Sunday as well. So this is going to be a very crucial weekend. You have to keep it tuned to the Weather Channel, because we're still watching this threat here today and then push eastward tomorrow. Huge risk for hail, more hail, gusty winds, and of course rain. Because we've had so much rain, it's going to flood really easily now with any more than, say, a half inch or an inch of rain in a couple of hours. Torcon, the risk of tornadoes within 50 miles of this area, that's a 3, meaning a 30% chance. South central Kansas through central Oklahoma, the I-35 corridor. So there is a risk of tornadoes today. And again, Oklahoma City, we start out cloudy, some breaks in the sun coming out. So get your yard work done early, get the kids outside. And then we know the drill. Showers and thunderstorms roll through, especially as we head later on this afternoon into this evening as well. Even Wichita, you're dry for much of the first half of the day. And then towards the afternoon hours, anytime, say after 2 o'clock, we could see showers and thunderstorms roll through the evening. And again, this area continues to give us the risk of severe weather as we push on towards your Sunday, although a good is also seeing the risk of severe weather as we head towards your Sunday and Sunday evening.
So, you know, we're going to continue to break it down for you, take you city by city with that severe threat, and of course, time it out.
Yeah, in fact, heavy rain in places like this. Check this out. Houston, New Orleans coming up. We're going to go hour by hour on what Texas and Louisiana can expect today.
All right, does the rain have you stuck inside? I'm going to show you a really fun way to observe weather with your kids inside, how to trap a cloud in a jar in today's Mommerology.
My feet felt so heavy at the end of the day.
They used to get really tired.
Until I started gelling.
I got Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles.
When they're in my shoes, my feet and legs feel less tired.
It's like walking on a wave.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles.
I'm a believer.
Who needs a witness when you set the world in motion? The full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City. Purpose-built to help you run the town. Ram.
25,000 mornings, give or take, is all we humans get. We spend them on treadmills, we spend them in traffic, and if we get lucky, really lucky, it dawns on us to go spend them in a world where a simple sunrise can still be magic. 25,000 mornings. Make sure some of them are pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
It's the Suit and Tie event now at Men's Warehouse. Select suits are on sale for $199.99. All ties, 3 for $75. Plus, buy one, get one free on even more. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Discover Can-Am's wide range of industry-leading vehicles during the Ready to Ride sales event. For a limited time, the Outlander L starts at $59.99. Or get the versatile Commander, the powerful Outlander, and the turbocharged Maverick XDS. With cash rebates up to $2,000. Don't miss out. Visit your local dealer during the Ready to Ride sales event. Can-Am, the ride says it all.
From the very start, I wanted FitCore to be different. If you come to me, it's because you want to do what I do, because I don't do what other people do. It's kind of like creating a brand for myself.
Your business is unique. Your marketing should be too. With Vistaprint, it will be. Put your personal touch on 500 business cards starting at just $9.99. Just enter promo code TV500 at Vistaprint.com.
Stay true to yourself. You can do this how you want to do it, and somebody else is going to think that's awesome and want to do it that way too.
Vistaprint.com.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, scattered thunderstorms. High 91, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 74. Chance of rain 30%. Sunday, partly 91, winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sitting here in a hailstorm just east of Amarillo, Texas. Look at them, about the size of golf balls.
That's the play-by-play of yesterday's thunderstorm in Briscoe, Texas, in the Texas Panhandle. Hail as big as golf balls pounded the area. And there was also a report of a tornado in nearby Gray, Texas.
And it was a very, very active start to the weekend. You see Friday's storm reports all the way from the central northern plains all the way down to the Gulf Coast.
About 100 overall yesterday, including a couple of those red circles are kind of lumped in with some of the hail and wind reports. Those are tornado reports, and unfortunately, we could see more tornadoes today as well as tomorrow. It's definitely a concern all weekend long.
And with that threat, you can't even rule out some water spouts.
Yeah.
That's going to be an issue across the coast. Absolutely.
Well, let's take a look at New Orleans right now. And yes, good morning to you. It's a wet morning to you. Unfortunately, another soggy day already, picking up over 5 inches of rain since Monday, and we're still counting, and 7.65 inches alone this month. That's the, by the way, the average for the entire month of April, 4.61 inches. And yes, yeah, we're going to be well past that, and we're expecting perhaps another inch of rain coming through today. Let's talk about the timing of this, because we're still watching more severe weather. Again, everywhere shaded here in the red has the chance of damaging wind, heavy rain, even some hail. Also the risk of tornadoes, especially here across the plains, as well as more rain across the Gulf Coast states. In fact, take a look at a couple cities like New Orleans. Just talking about them. Yeah, we are soggy already, and a chance of showers continue all day long, all afternoon long, all night long as well. But temperatures, well, pushing in the upper 70s, so definitely a muggy feeling to the Big Easy. Another area seeing some showers. Dry right now, a few peaks of blue sky out there, but towards the afternoon, that sun starts to kick off the convection. Could see some showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures here also in the muggy upper 70s here, with showers coming in as we head on towards this evening. And our nation's, well, the state of Texas capital, Austin, plenty of sunshine this afternoon. Could kick up a few stray thunderstorms, but a better chance as we head on towards this evening and into the evening hours, as we have that I-35 corridor, and that's that focal point where thunderstorms. Same thing in Dallas. Later on tonight, watch for storms to come through the Metroplex. Maria?
Well, Paul, it has been raining for days in a lot of places, and if you are fresh out of things to do with the kids, you've come to the right place. Learn together about the weather and have a whole lot of fun with some science experiments. Here's one example in today's Mommerology. Ready to make a cloud in a jar? Sounds fun, right? Yeah. It's a great little science experiment to do with the kiddos, and Tyler, my 4-year-old, is going to help me out. A few things you need. You need hot water, so parental supervision is key because this is super hot.
And spray.
Some hairspray or some kind of aerosol.
And then some ice cubes on top of the cap.
On top of the cap with an empty jar, and of course the ice cubes. Okay, so let's put this down. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some hot water into the jar. I'm going to swirl it around, and that's going to add some water vapor in here inside the jar. And then Tyler's going to put the top on real fast. I'm going to get in there, put some aerosol in there, cover it, and poof, we're going to have a cloud in the jar because the vapor is going to condense around the little particles that I put in here with the aerosol. You ready? Should be cool. All right, let's start with the hot water. Put some in there. Okay, kind of swirl it around. Okay, put it on top, babe. All right, you ready? So what you have happening here is you have the little bit of the aerosol from the hairspray. It's giving the water vapor inside the jar something to condense onto, and then the cooling of the cap just adds to that process. And there you go, you've got a cloud in motion inside the jar. What do you think, Tyler? Pretty cool? He's, first of all, adorable. But it's really cool because with the cold and then the warm, you also see it do this little circulating, and and you can put a little flashlight and kind of heighten the experience. It's really fun.
A mini cross section of the atmosphere.
Yeah, and it's super easy. Everyone has that
at my house, but I keep running out of hairspray because I go through cans every day.
Sure. Well, you can use any aerosol. It doesn't have to be hairspray. Aquanet. Yeah. Okay. But it's really fun for all ages.
So I mean, you get Tyler a little paycheck because he continues to be on our show.
I know, and he does whatever I say.
All right. Morning, Tyler.
I started my Camry. Ran a race most wouldn't dream of starting. Chose to take down a monster. And realized when it's dark enough, you can see the stars. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Your eyes depend on a unique set of nutrients.
That's why there's Ocuvite. Ocuvite helps replenish key eye nutrients. Ocuvite has a unique formula that's just not found in any leading multivitamin.
Help protect your eye health with Ocuvite.
My feet felt so heavy at the end of the day.
They used to get really tired.
Until I started gelling.
I got Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles.
When they're in my shoes, my feet and legs feel less tired.
It's like walking on a wave.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles.
I'm a believer.
You pay your auto insurance premium every month on the dot. You're like the poster child for paying on time. And then one day, you tap the bumper of a station wagon. No big deal until your insurance company jacks up your rates. You freak out. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Hey, insurance companies, newsflash. Nobody's perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Monday morning, California in crisis. The historic drought, not just affecting your food, but your fashion as well. We'll have the story starting on Wake Up With Al at AMHQ, Monday morning at 5, only on the web.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
If you're not happy with how your allergy medicine treats your congestion, rethink relief with Nasacort Allergy 24-Hour. Unlike antihistamines that target only one cause of your symptoms, Nasacort stops more, relieving the worst nasal allergy symptoms, even congestion, for 24 hours. It's non-addictive and has no harsh taste, and unlike Flonase, it's scent and alcohol-free. And it's available over-the-counter at full prescription strength. Rethink your relief with Nasacort. It stops more of what makes you miserable.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, scattered thunderstorms. High 91, winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 74. Chance of rain 30%. Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy. High 91, winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Boy, oh boy, do we have some great spring snow throughout Colorado, right? The Winter Park Resort west of Denver picked up a foot of snow.
Plus, in fact, 17 inches officially over the last 48 hours. Let's take a live look here at Winter Park Resort, where our temperatures right now are around 27, 28 degrees, and we're probably going to warm to around the low 40s, especially at the base area. But the best thing to do is to stay high, because up on the mountain it's going to be cooler, colder, the snow will be fresher, and again, they'll start turning to slush. But by the way, it's staying open, Winter Park, till April 26th. But this is the big problem here. And I gave a talk a couple of years ago in Colorado about global warming and climate change. You're still going to get your snow. But if you get a ton of it in April, when people don't go to the ski resorts, except a lot of locals, that really hurts all the businesses surrounding around the whole ski and snowboard industry. That's a big problem.
And watching the coverage yesterday, our Mike Bettis was out there along I-70, and all the westbound cars had the things on the top of their car, you know, their ski racks. So you know they were all heading out there trying to take advantage. But as you mentioned, it was the locals, right? They're the only ones that are able to take advantage of it. But it is an interesting time of year anyway, April, because you can often have spring snow and spring severe, and that's exactly what we have right now. Some pretty impressive spring snow and definitely some dangerous spring severe. So let's start with the snow. What's interesting is it's a very familiar spin that we've had going on now for days, and Thursday into yesterday, a lot of that flow over the Colorado Rockies was coming from this way, but now we're on the backside, so it has moved, but just a little bit. We're still seeing the snow, though, being produced. Watching the clock, you have from Loveland to Glenwood Springs, still occasional snow showers here. Yes, additional accumulation not out of the question. Denver, not so much, but just be aware of some of those changing driving conditions. Certainly, if you're from that area, you know, if you're heading westbound on I-70, for instance, driving conditions can change like that. We had some big time issues there. Loveland, Colorado, today you have the chance for snow showers throughout the days. Your temperatures are staying all the way down, well below freezing, into the low 20s for most of the day. And then we're going to flip to the spring severe. And a city like San Antonio, it is all about the hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. Heavy rain producers, maybe some hail producers, definitely some gusty winds in there. We're seeing that right now. Look at this line lighting up, a lot of lightning and thunder. And we've been watching this cluster along the Gulf Coast as well. These are kind of the two areas that we'll focus in on for severe threat today. Along the Gulf Coast, say I-10 and I-20 in between there. And then you have all the way from Nebraska down to the Texas Gulf Coast, that threat for severe weather. The Torcons are out today, 3 out of 10 for central Kansas. That means that we could be looking at some very powerful storms. And as you can see tomorrow, Paul, we are looking at that threat continue. In fact, ramping up just a little bit. We now have 4s on the map. So tomorrow could be even more active when it comes to supercells and tornadoes.
And of course, we're going to cover it all weekend long as well. Hey, it really is amazing out there.
Check out this incredible video time lapse of last night's sunset.
Your brain can send information to the rest of your body at 268 miles an hour. 3 times the speed of a fastball.
Take care of your brain with Centrum Silver Men. Multivitamins with 20% more vitamin D.
My heart beats 100,000 times a day, sending oxygen to my muscles.
Again!
so I can lift even the most demanding weights.
Take care of your heart with Centrum Silver Men. Multivitamins for the most important parts of you.
I always dreamed of coming here. When my asthma symptoms returned, my doctor prescribed Dulera to help prevent them.
Dulera is for patients 12 and older whose asthma is not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Dulera will not replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms.
A 6-month clinical study has shown Dulera helps significantly improve lung function.
Dulera contains formoterol, which increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Dulera is not for people whose asthma is well controlled with a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Dulera and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Dulera more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor about Dulera.
It's the Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery's bonus coupon sale, where you can cut a real deal on an unbelievable selection of styles. Come in today for your valuable coupons, and you'll find hot buys on recliners, great deals on sofas and sectionals, with additional savings throughout the store, plus special financing available. Get unbelievable quality and comfort at unbeatable prices. The Lazy Boy bonus coupon sale. Hurry in today and bring home the savings. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
It's gonna tempt your tummy with a taste of nuts and honey. It's honey almond oat. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
So much food is pretty shocking.
They go straight in the garbage. We're wasting 40% of our food. My question, how much of it is still good and can I eat it?
The challenge, to survive for 6 months only on food destined for the dumpster.
Do I have to go dumpster diving on my lunch break?
I'm starting to enjoy this.
And following the film, join Tom Colicchio to learn how together we can stop the waste. Just Eat It, Wednesday at 10 on MSNBC.
Hey, check this out here. A truly amazing time-lapse of last night's sunset in Key West.
Oh, look at those colors. You can even see the sun just illuminating all those clouds.
Ooh, Mother Nature at its best.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Hey, we got a 5-day forecast for Key West if you happen to be taking time out to enjoy the southernmost point in the U.S. And again, a gorgeous weekend. Temperatures warm in the mid-80s here. But come next week, we could see a few scattered showers and thunderstorms. But hey, you know, hang out in Margaritaville.
Yeah, you know, I think we should go cover those storms on Tuesday and Wednesday. Team coverage.
Yes.
Right here.
There we go.
Key West is always wonderful when it comes to weather, but if you were out yesterday, much of the country had to deal with some fog, and not even in this country alone too. It's always a cool scene when you can see the wonder of weather and fog in a city. Take a look at this. Indianapolis, pictures like this were all over Twitter and social media yesterday.
Yeah, you can see definitely a shallow layer. This happens a lot in the transitional months where we still have the cold ground from the winter and the warm air tries to come across it, just like taking a hot shower on a cold morning in your bathroom, things steam over. Same type of process here, except it's a grander scale in terms of the entire world.
And this is the Scottish Rite Cathedral peeking above the fog out of Indiana. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
I think we talked about that.
Look at that.
Indianapolis again, but also I think we have a picture from Toronto.
We sure do.
Which is actually another country.
It is another country.
And so some parts of this country you can see Canada.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. And you can see parts of the U.S. from Canada. How about that?
I can see Canada this morning, Maria.
And this is from Toronto. So we are looking at the fog from above, but how about from within the fog? And we had this Twitter picture, a gentleman doing his bike ride in the fog in Toronto along the lakeshore.
I gotta say, Toronto, again, a beautiful city. You can actually access it from flying into Buffalo, another nice city up in upstate New York, and then go across or go by the falls and then into Toronto around the lake. Yeah. Again, cheaper way, by the way, to get into Canada than flying to Buffalo versus Toronto.
Travel tips, courtesy of Paul Goodlow. All right.
Free.
Yeah.
Free
well, we love showing you the wonders of weather. Not so wonderful, though, if you're trying to do anything outside or make plans this weekend. We've got thunderstorms, and they are rocking and rolling this morning as we speak.
And this morning, the house is probably shaking here in Kansas City as thunderstorms on the way up Interstate 49. Again, the I-35 corridor, the focal point for severe weather as we head throughout today and tomorrow.
So nice, so nice. Sweet, sweet St. Thomas, nice. So nice, so nice. St. Croix full of pure vibes. So nice, so nice. St. John a real paradise. So nice, so proud to be from the Virgin Islands and the whole place nice.
To experience your Virgin Islands nice, book one of our packages today.
Average women's tees versus a gawking gopher. Duluth Trading Longtail Tees versus a gawking gopher. The Duluth Longtail Tee. 2 extra inches to defend your back end. Get one. Only at DuluthTrading.com.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, scattered thunderstorms. High 91. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of rain 50%. Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 74. Chance of rain 30%. Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy. High 91. Winds south at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.